our 7th episode. So I'm excited to get going. So let's hear what we got for you. This title, we're going to go with My Life, My Destiny, My Choice, Thanks. Destiny is quite the powerful word with a multitude of meanings. Heck, it's even a pretty cool video game that I play. Regardless, for our purposes of this podcast, we'll go with this working definition. Destiny is an individual living out their own personal purpose in life based on their own choices, victories, and failures. In endurance racing, there's no shortage of gurus, some legit and some self-proclaimed, who seem to have, surviving any manner of race, they have it all figured out. Not just surviving it, but wait for it, they have the secret sauce to me having my most successful performance ever. Well, that's great, and honestly, more power to them. Unfortunately, they don't know me, my life, my circumstances, my strengths, my weaknesses. Well, you get the point. For example, if you were to Google, as I did in the very beginning, an Ironman race workout schedule, you'd probably give up on the dream before even starting. The amount of time and effort supposedly required to reach these lofty workout expectations is nigh impossible unless you have no job, no family, and no other responsibilities other than exercising. Well, in the land of reality, I realized quickly I'd have to chart my own path to reach my hopeful destiny, competing and completing an Ironman race. Well, I'm happy to say to date, I've done 3 Ironman events and have survived them all. The irony in this is that none of my workouts have I ever ran 26.2 miles. In fact, I've never run over 13 miles in any given workout, ever. The only time I've run 26.2 miles is on race day. And I have never biked 112 miles in any of my workouts. The longest bike ride I've ever recorded, done prior to any of my races, is 60 miles. Now, in all fairness, I have swam over 4 miles in one swim workout, but that's because there's this nagging worry I have, drowning. So I don't mess with the swim. I jump in and keep going until I'm convinced, that I won't sink to the bottom and die. The point is, all of my training is designed and decided upon by me. I know what my life allows me to accomplish without ignoring my children and making my wife want to divorce me. Thereby, the only guru I count on is me. I'll decide when to work out and how much to work out and how long the workouts will be. And up to this point, I've survived. So I guess I'll give myself some credit in the fact that I must know a little about what I'm doing. Well, let's hop the fence into my life and education. This is the case in point in my mind when it comes to what's known as professional development. I'm told how many hours I'm going to complete, and more often than not, what those developments will be based on. Where did my destiny go? Who is this all-knowing guru that somehow knows how many PD hours I need to be an outstanding educator? Who is the guru that somehow knows what I need to learn or improve upon to continue educational excellence? If anyone knows of this person, I must meet them because they are obviously far more intelligent than I. Maybe they'll be my new bestie. Think about it. Somehow these gurus know me inside and out, my motivations, my desires, my hopes, my dreams, my insecurities, and so on. But beyond that, apparently they also know all the above regarding my students. That, my friends, is an amazing feat. One that maybe I'll learn when I obtain the Force and become a Jedi. What I'd like is for the gurus to realize that just as in racing, I kind of know more about me than they do. I certainly know more about my students than they do. So wouldn't it make sense to allow me to reach this obscure amount of PD hours with material and information that can truly benefit not only my students, but me as well? If I see there's a new technical application that can be beneficial for my classroom, I'll download it, play with it, and learn it. If I'm confused about something, I'll reach out to others in the Twitterverse or my PLN, collaborate, and learn together. That's motivation, that's learning, and that's kind of how it should be, at least in my mind. Here's a great example. There is no doubt that autism is on the rise. The autistic spectrum is huge. I've had many students over the years that have been within the autistic spectrum. I am far from an expert on working with individuals or families dealing with autism. Certainly, I've done my own research and through trial and error learned ways to enhance inclusion in my classroom while dealing with the challenges that autism can bring. Unfortunately, these hours spent on my own rarely are able to count towards that, quote-unquote magic number of hours that the gurus have decided is best for me. Now, I'm sure I can add it to some obscure bucket of PD hours, probably the ones that we're allowed to do on our own, but you guessed it, they make up the least amount of time we spend on professional development. And folks, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but let's add one more to the list. It is physically and physiologically impossible to give your best to something you're not motivated by. Autism motivates me because it's something that I see as needs to be learned more about so I can enhance my classroom instruction and reach those children and those families that are dealing with these struggles. I'm motivated by it. I want to learn more about it. I can learn more about it, and I can find ways to learn more about it on my own. So gurus can keep throwing new stuff at me, and they may even hit the mark at some point. That's awesome. So 2 hours of PD has been beneficial, and 28 hours has been wasted. 28 hours of my life I'll never get back. You see, I'm a big believer in return on investment. Think of it as my own little personal Shark Tank. If I'm going to put the time in, the return of investment needs to be great. Otherwise, it's wasted time. If you're in a relationship where you're the only one giving, loving, cherishing, etc., what the heck are you doing there? Get the heck out. You're getting zero in return. You need to move on. So here is my dream. Just as in racing, where I choose my path, which will allow me to reach my destiny, I'd love the gurus to understand that I'm a big boy who, believe it or not, can be motivated to learn and develop myself in a manner that is best for me and my students. Think of it like the notion of universal design and learning. With this concept, there are multiple pathways to reach understanding and proof of knowledge. Let me choose my path, prove to you that this path has been successful, and take ownership in something that actually motivates and inspires me. When one of the gurus figures this out, then they will be my new best friend. And in the end, my friends, I look at professional development regarding education and so forth as that old adage of there's just too many dang cooks in the kitchen. I have my classroom. That is our kitchen. I'm the master chef, and my students are my apprentice chefs. Let us learn and live and educate each other to come up with our cooking masterpiece, if you will. We can do it if you just give us the reins and let us control our own destiny.